We made a paramount, a very expensive investment, not just in the people and their expertise, but in the equipment and the studios and keeping it in-house and not doing what a lot of other agencies do, which is just farm out a local videographer, pay them $500 for the day, and then edit it up. But we actually have a team of individuals that all we do is travel all over the country. We report back to Atlanta, but we travel all over the country working with roofing company owners and roofing contractors, helping them tell their story in a way that is appealing to them as the business owner, but also to the community that they serve, and most importantly, to Google. Hey folks, so today I really want to explain what the investment in Best Roofer Media means to the entire industry, right? Because a lot of people look at Best Roofer Media, which is a division of Best Roofer Marketing, as just an a la carte service and an a la carte product that we sell or we upsell to get videos and cool photos for your website or your social media marketing. But there's so much more to it. And I wanted to unpack that today to give a better understanding of why we made such a significant investment. So taking you back to the beginning, we had the privilege to contract an independent company for several years. Jared Adams, our media director, he was the founder of this company, Mesmerize Media. And we were trying to prove out a concept, right? We understood the value and importance of creative video, of good authenticity, good authentic photography on your websites, being able to tell your story from a visual perspective, that we wanted to prove the concept and see if it could really be sold. So what we did is we actually subcontracted this company for a couple of years until we decided that, bringing Jared on in a partnership, acquisition, whatever you want to call it, really meant the most sense to Best Roofer Marketing. And we formed out of that and birthed Best Roofer Media. So what is Best Roofer Media? Well, Best Roofer Media is our in-house video photography, full media team. Now, I want to give you the background on Jared and some of our teammates and kind of some of the things they've accomplished, right? So Jared actually has worked for Home Depot, for Lowe's, for Belfour, for notable global brands. He's our main point of contact for our Atlas Shingle manufacturing relationship today. He manages that entire multi-billion-dollar relationship single-handedly through the Department of Best Roofer Media. And his expertise doing everything from Burt Reynolds films to small business photography and videography really led to the creation of this division of our company and why it was so important. So Best Roofer Media is our in-house team providing authentic photography and videography for your roofing company or your home services business. Now, why is that important? The table stakes answer that everybody will give you today is, well, video is going to outlive all of us. And I say that often because it's very much true. But what I have learned over the course of being the founder of Best Roofer Marketing over the last 5 years is that video is not just going to outlive all of us. It is paramount to a small business roofing company owner's success. We're going to unpack today in this video what authentic photography and videography mean to your business and why it's such a critical, important role that you need to have filled, whether that be internal or through an agency like Best Roofer Media and Best Roofer Marketing. You got to first go back a step and understand this pertains more to just telling your story on your business. This pertains to online rankings, which mean more phone calls for your business. So we're going to dial this in to Google first. Thinking about your website, how it actually performs online organically in social media, and so forth. Really, video it's a key component to that driver. But why is it so important? Well, Google's the world's largest data aggregator. Hands down, they simply, in layman terms, reward companies that give them authentic photos, authentic videos. Simply put, hands down, Google rewards companies for sharing authentic photography and videography to them, and they suppress companies that do not. So you have to understand about playing the game. Well, why does Google care about having authentic photography on your website or having authentic videos? My personal opinion, through countless hours of studying and research, late night stewing over this, is it really stems to the AI arms race, artificial intelligence. When you're feeding authentic data to Google, you're helping train their AI to be smarter and more powerful. So the AI arms race is a global race, right? Many would argue that this is one of the most critical and important factors driving today's technology, driving today's data transfer, right? Information, content is king. We've heard all of that before. So think about your small business in your local community, right? Let's just say you're a roofing company owner and you're in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Why would putting photography and videography on your website, on your Google business profile, on your social media carry so much weight? Well, Google's going to actually see this as you are giving them valuable information for the homeowners in your community, for the business owners of your community, for the churches and the schools and the residences and the HOAs and the apartment complexes. You are being authentic. 6 of Google's last 7 major algorithms all had a huge emphasis on authenticity. So they are forcing small business owners that want to succeed to play along. Now, hopefully you're getting an idea of how this is way more than just thinking about some cool videos that you're going to see in your Instagram reels or your Facebook feed, right? This is really trying to take over and dominate your marketplace by leveraging video production, by telling your story, by having process videos, by being able to share testimonial videos and let your homeowners and business owners that love the work that you did for them tell other potential consumers how great you are and that why they should hire you. So getting back to Google, right? There's a lot of technical aspects, everything from robot.txt that are on websites that give permission for Google to scrape your data to the simpler things like we know that homeowners that can actually relate to you in advance are more likely to contact you. See, in many cases, you're paying to drive traffic to your website, but at that point, the purchase is done. So what that traffic decides to do when they land on your website or they land on your social media feed is really still your responsibility. You have to own that. And how you own that is by giving good creative narrative along the way, by being authentic, by being relatable, by being approachable. If you're funny, be funny. If you're serious, be educational, right? If you're business driven, be that, be yourself on camera so people can start to relate to you. So when you're thinking about, hey, I want to hire an agency that can actually help us rank online, we made a paramount, a very expensive investment, not just in the people and their expertise, but in the equipment and the studios and keeping it in-house and not doing what a lot of other agencies do, which is just farm out a local videographer, pay them $500 for the day, and then edit it up. But we actually have a team of individuals that all we do is travel all over the country. We report back to Atlanta, but we travel all over the country working with roofing company owners and roofing contractors, helping them tell their story in a way that is appealing to them as the business owner, but also to the community that they serve, and most importantly, to Google. Because Google is actually going to judge you and rank your business based on how authentic your website is. Everything from the domain authority that you carry to the value of your actual website as it's being perceived by a homeowner to landing page optimization all plays into authentic photography and videography. So you need to understand that when you say, I want to dominate my market, one of the key differentiators of Best Roofer Marketing is the division of Best Roofer Media and having that in-house team of experts that do this for a living on a weekly basis, traveling coast to coast, working with contractors just like you in a way that makes sense to help you tell your story so you can begin to dominate your market online, because now video is one of the key drivers to getting more phone calls. When you get more phone calls, your business trajectory goes up. But without more phone calls, it's going to be very hard to scale your business. So let's take a look at some of the actual data behind the science to understand where we're coming from. So now it's time to eat, and that's EEAT. Google actually calls it their entire framework right now, which is experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. So you need to understand the EAT algorithm, the authoritativeness, the expertise, the experience that comes from telling your story. So what a lot of people are not aware of, especially if they are trying to do their marketing on their own, is the power that video brings to that particular algorithm, which is driving organic rankings. See, rankings go up, they fall, they go down, they go sideways. They're always volatile. But companies that are following along the guidelines of the algorithm are always going to come out better in the end. And this EAT algorithm, the EEAT, is very important to that note because you are taking videography and photography, and Google is saying, okay, this company's trustworthy. They are a real company with real wrap trucks and real people in the community and real yard signs, and they're replacing real roofs for real homeowners. So gone are the days of just slapping some stock photography or stock video on a website and saying, okay, my job is done. Yeah, it was cheap. It didn't cost me a whole lot, or nobody goes to my website, but it's not going to get the job done if you are really a competitive roofing company owner. Through our $1 billion impact vision, we actually only work with companies that actually possess 3 C's, which is they have to be committed to growth with or without us. They have to be coachable, and they have to be competitive, right? The coachable part is understanding that you need to do authentic photography, authentic videography on your website, on your social media account, when you're presenting to a homeowner across the board. The more authentic you can be and the more real, not perfect, not scripted. You're going to have your ums and your uhs, but just being natural, that is all going to serve you very well. And what you really need to hone in on, and I said at the beginning of the video, is video is going to outlive all of us. So if you're falling behind on your videography or your photography, you're falling behind on AI, you're falling behind on your entire data platform that is going to help not only sustain you, but catapult you to success or drag you down to the bottom of the ocean. So Google algorithms carry the weight of your website, and I would implore you to really take a hard look at authenticity. Really go to your website and ask yourself, would you call yourself? If you needed a roofer and you were going to go check out a few, would your website tell the story that would say, yes, I would call myself? Here's an example. So I actually had the opportunity to put my wife through a test, right? So my wife, Sarah, I gave her a random account. It was a prospect of ours, and I wanted to time this out. So I said, hey, Sarah, here's a website. Go check them out. Let me know if you'd call them. I set a timer, 29 seconds. 29 seconds is all it took for her to tell me, no, I would not call this company. And I was like perplexed. I was like, well, why? She's like, well, I looked at their website. It was just some stock photography and it was really slow. I was able to look and they didn't have any recent Google reviews in the last 60 days. And their social media profile was kind of dormant. There wasn't anything going on. They weren't really actively there. So I made the decision consciously in my mind, I wouldn't really call this company. So what you don't understand is that there is a huge trust factor in being authentic, being relevant, being consistent with the content that you put out, because you may get somebody to land on your website. It doesn't mean they're going to call you or wait for you to come out to the home. They will make a decision based on your website, based on your Google reviews, based on your social media presence, if you're even worthy of them picking up the phone to call you. The internet has made us all the smartest people in the room. It's made us all incredibly judgmental. Right, wrong, or indifferent, we pass judgment swiftly. So if you come to our website, you'll see that we have a video up front. You'll see that we use authentic photography. You'll see that our website's blazing fast. We're trying to do everything that we can to get that potential roofing company to take action and book a meeting with us, submit a form or an inquiry, give us a call. But we are addressing the key components that matter. And as a roofing company owner, you can't just hire the cheapest guy in town and think that you're going to get by with success because you give them a couple $1,000s a month. If they don't have all components of the engine firing on all cylinders, you're going to fall short, because you can have a really good website with stock photography, but it's still not going to perform as good as a website with authentic photography. It's just not statistically proven.